Wheels America is sponsored by Grundy Insurance. Today on Wheels America, we track down one of America's first true muscle cars. We take a look at the car that General Motors discontinued because it sold too well. We find a rare Chrysler 300 convertible ready to race. And we'll take a look at more of the greatest cars ever made on Wheels America.
Today, we're at a car show honoring America's real heroes, the men and women of our military who keep us safe every day. It's no surprise that they love cars too, so let's check them out on Wheels America. I'm looking at a very rare 1973 AMC Javelin, so I'm going to have Nick and Kat talk to me about their car. Kat, we were talking earlier and you told me there was a unique story behind how Nick got this car. Will you share?
Absolutely. I went to medical school, but when it came time for me to do my training, he agreed to go down to South Georgia with me, and so we were away from home, away from all the cars, and so the agreement was we'd come back home and he'd get his car.
Very nice. So Nick, you chose the 73 Javelin. Why is that?
I've always kind of followed the AMCs around. Before I knew about the Javelin, I always liked the AMX, which was the two-seater version. But by the time it came time to get a classic car for me, we already had kids, and I really didn't want to leave them at home when we're going out getting ice cream and showing off the car. So I got basically the four-seater version of the AMX.
And what is it about this car that's so unique?
There's just not a lot of them left. The AMC brand, it went away, and when I first looked at getting it, a friend of mine basically said, well, you're getting an orphan there. The parts are more expensive and harder to come by. Less people are interested in them, so there's not as great of a market for selling them either. But it's just always been a work of love for me, and I've always loved AMC as a brand too.
So let's talk about what you have under the hood.
It's a 360 cubic inch V8 two-barrel motor. So they come with 4 barrels as well, with a little bit of extra power, but this one came with a 2-barrel. I'm looking at maybe a 4-barrel conversion in the future though.
And have you done anything to the interior of the car?
No, I really haven't. It's still essentially all original.
Are there any unique features to a 73?
Like a lot of other 73 cars, the clock is by itself on the dash, so it doesn't really have a tachometer there. It's just the clock standing alone. There is a package for it with a tachometer built into the clock, but those go for high dollars at this point because, like I said, they just don't make a lot of them anymore.
And that's all original interior then as far as the cloth and the seats and everything?
Right, the seats are still in the same condition essentially from years ago. I mean, you can tell that they've been worn a bit.
We're here talking with Randy. Randy's got a classic Ford F100 pickup truck. Tell us, Randy, it's a 1954. Any history behind this vehicle that you want to share?
Yes, I've owned it for 30 years. It took me 10 years to build it. And I did all the work on it except for the paint job. I didn't want to ruin all my work with my own my paint, so I had somebody else paint it for me.
Really impressive. You know, usually we're coming across people who have restored a pre-existing vehicle. You said you built this one from the frame up. Tell us about that process.
Took it completely apart, took the body off the frame, and the frame is completely refinished. It has a torsion bar front suspension.
Randy, tell us what you're running under the hood.
Okay, it's a 351 Windsor that's been bored out 30 thousandths and balanced. It's out of a 76 Ford Torino. It's Edelbrock equipped, pretty much the intake, carburation, and camshaft are all Edelbrock.
Was there a lot of work to do on the interior as well?
Pretty much. The interiors on these old trucks were pretty stark. And they didn't have much in the way of upholstery or anything, just pretty much a vinyl bench seat and no carpeting, just a rubber mat. So I ended up having to, reupholster the seat. It's a stock seat, the original one, and new door panels and new headliner, and of course carpeting with insulation underneath for a little bit of the road noise that is prevalent with these old vehicles.
Randy, you strike me as a collector. I can't believe this would be the only car that you have.
I do own a 2009 Mustang Bullet. That's one of my favorites. That's my daily driver, actually.
If you were to get another one, would it be more along the lines of a muscle car or one of these trucks again?
I wouldn't mind, seeing that I worked for Ford Truck for 28 years, I wouldn't mind having an F-150 pickup. I've never owned one all the years I worked for them. That wouldn't be a bad utility vehicle to have.
These are some beautiful cars. Hi, I'm Jim Grundy. We love classic cars as much as you do. That's why we tailor your policy for the way you drive. A Grundy policy covers you for 100% of the agreed value, unlimited mileage, 0 deductible, and no depreciation. Call us now or visit us at Grundy.com and we'll quickly show you how much you can save. At Grundy, we get it. Call us today.
You're watching Wheels America.
Coming up on Wheels America, we look at a rare Chrysler 300 convertible and take a tour of the car they called a baby Cadillac when Wheels America returns.
Car guys love a fast car. I'm Sam Grundy. At Grundy Insurance, we'll get your quote done super fast. It's quick, easy, and it'll save you money. With Grundy, you get agreed value, 0 deductible, unlimited mileage, and no depreciation. Call us now or visit us at Grundy.com. You'll be amazed at how fast we can get you rolling. Call us today. At Grundy, we get it.
We're here with Wayne. Wayne's got a super rare 57 Chrysler 300C. Wayne, tell us some of the history behind this car.
Well, this was the third in the Chrysler's famous letter series. Was intended to race in NASCAR stock car oval track races, and they made just enough so that they could qualify as a stock car to race. So this is one of 484 convertibles they made that year. They made another 1,700 or so hardtops, so there are probably 200 or so left of these convertibles.
And it's obviously in beautiful condition right now, but I'm guessing it was not in the same condition when you first found it. Is that right?
It was a rusted out Hulk, and it barely started, barely ran, and barely stopped.
Wayne, you mentioned the history of this car, and as it pertains to racing, can you tell us what you've got under the hood that makes it go so fast?
Well, these cars, you could only get them with the 392 375 horsepower Hemi engine. This car is a legitimate 150 mile an hour car, so it was the fastest American production car built to date when it was introduced.
Wayne, the interior is just as beautiful as the exterior on this car. Can you tell us a little bit about the work that was involved in restoring the interior?
Well, like the rest of the car, it's been totally redone. The idea of a car this old and rare is to keep it as correct as possible.
What's unique about this interior?
Well, the first thing you notice is it's got no shifter on the floor or on the column. It's got the famous Chrysler Torque Flight push button 3-speed automatic, and it also has a leather interior. It's got power windows, power seats, power top. This car had 2 nicknames. It was called, Chrysler called them Beautiful Brutes, and more generic term, they were called Bankers Hot Rods, because they put big engines in them, made them go fast, and then they made them as pretty and fancy as they could.
Obviously, everything about this vehicle just flows so seamlessly, interior to exterior. Also, really loving the paint color. What can you tell us about the exterior, and is this a stock color?
This is the original cloud white, a Chrysler color, so when it was repainted, we tried to match as exactly as possible with what was on the car when it came out of the factory. So this is the color they made it. This is the color it is.
What's your favorite unique feature of this car, Wayne?
Well, I love driving big boaty cars. I always have. So I like the way it feels on the highway. It's fun to floor it and kick in that second 4-barrel and hear it go blah.
How you doing? I'm Justin.
And I'm Adrian.
And we're going to tell you about our car. It's a 1966 Shelby 427 kit car. It's got a 557 big block Ford motor in it with a 3-speed automatic transmission. It's got a theme of Punisher. It is the black Punisher vehicle. It has 15-inch rims and tires. It does 0 to 60 in about 4.1 seconds and is just a blast to drive. I've only had it for a week, but I can't get out of it. What I like most about the car is that it's a unique car. It's a lot of fun to drive. You get a lot of looks, and it just gives you a nice open feeling, and you can really feel the road, and it's just a nice experience. My favorite thing about driving this is the feel of the road. You can feel every single bump, and it's a very aggressive feel. You get on the gas and it really sets you back in the seat and takes off and kind of gives you a little scare. I'm Justin.
And I'm Adrian.
And that's the story of our car.
Woo!
Grundy Insurance is a family-owned business. Frequently, you'll find me with my brother and dad working on one of our cars. We understand the importance of protecting what you love. Hi, I'm Josh Grundy. My family has been insuring collector cars since 1947. We invented agreed value coverage. Get the best coverage for the least amount of money. Agreed value, unlimited mileage, at a rate you won't believe. At Grundy, we get it. Call us now or visit us online at grundy.com.
Coming up on Wheels America, we catch up with a Pontiac GTO, one of America's first true muscle cars. And we look at a gull-wing exotic from Britain, when Wheels America comes roaring back.
Driving collector cars is a thrilling experience. Hi, I'm Jim Grundy. We have a passion for collector cars just like you do, so protect your cherished investment the right way. At Grundy, you get agreed value coverage, 0 deductible, and unlimited mileage. Call us now or visit us at grundy.com and we'll show you how much you can save. At Grundy, we get it. Call us today.
Somewhere behind all this tchotchke, I see a 1957 Chevy truck. So I'm going to have Mike talk to me about it. Mike, this truck looks like it has a great backstory. What can you tell me about it?
Well, I used to live in Florida 25 years ago, and I used to work at Kennedy Space Center, and I was an industrial steel painter. Well, I asked these old painters, do you have anything old? And the one guy said, yeah, I have a 1957 Chevy pickup truck, and it's for $600. I said, come on, you're pulling my leg. He said, $600? I said, sold.
Mike, what have you done to the exterior of the vehicle?
Well, I painted it 25 years ago, and I thought it would hold up. Well, I think it needs another paint job, but everybody says leave it alone. It looks good like it is.
What do you have under the hood here?
It's a 283 Corvette motor. I didn't realize it at the time, but my uncle said I was lucky 25 years ago. And I said, how do you know I'm lucky? They said, you got a Corvette motor. But I didn't realize it until I started driving it just this past year.
Is this a daily driver for you?
Yep, I drive it during the winter too.
I was looking at the interior a little earlier and it's pretty unique. What can you tell me about it?
Well, I painted it red to match the rims, and the seats come from an odd place, the garbage.
You got the seats out of the garbage?
Right. And most people ask, where'd you find it in the garbage? I said, it was a good garbage.
And then the rest of the interior is stock?
Right.
We're here with Mark. Mark's got one of America's original classic muscle cars. It's a 1965 Pontiac GTO. Mark, can you give us some of the history on this classic vehicle?
Well, the 1964 was the first GTO, and that was claimed as the first original muscle car out of Pontiac. I've owned this car for 20 years, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Mark, you said you drove the same make and model in high school, is that right?
That's right. I had a 1965 GTO in high school and always thought, well, someday, hopefully, I'll get another one.
So how did you find this one?
Just doing some research in the papers and on the internet. Found this one in Ohio and went down there and looked at it, and that was the one.
Are you racing this one like you were with the high school one?
No, there's not so much racing anymore. Those days are kind of over, but do like to drive this. I put about 2,000 miles a year on it, drive it in the summers, put it away for the winters.
So I know you said it took quite a bit to restore this. What did that include as far as under the hood?
Under the hood, I have the 389 Tri-Power. I've kept that. I've redone the motor and redone the engine bay. The motor still is pretty much stock. Put a little bit of oomph in it, but other than that, it's pretty original.
How about the paint job?
Originally, it was a different color, and I wanted to put it back to its original color from the factory. That was the tiger gold with the black vinyl top.
And how about the interior? Did you have to do much work there?
Interior, I haven't done much. I had to replace the passenger and driver's seat. They were a little worn out. But other than that, and the carpet, other than that, the interior is pretty much all original.
Mark, you mentioned that you're actually driving this car pretty regularly, not just for shows and things like that, but as a daily driver. So tell us, is it a smooth ride?
Oh yeah, it's a smooth ride. I wouldn't say it's smooth compared to today's cars, but it does have a little bumps here and there, but it rides really well. It drives good, the motor runs great, the transmission's great, shift's great. Yeah, it's a great driving car.
And I know you said you're not racing anymore, but what does this one top out at?
Well, it goes pretty good. It doesn't compare to the 700 horsepower that you can buy today at the dealer, but it gets up there pretty good. I've buried the speedometer at a time or two. I could probably run about 12 seconds in the quarter mile with a little over 100 miles an hour.
Grundy Insurance is a family-owned business. Frequently, you'll find me with my brother and dad working on one of our cars. We understand the importance of protecting what you love. Hi, I'm Josh Grundy. My family has been insuring collector cars since 1947. We invented agreed value coverage. Get the best coverage for the least amount of money. Agreed value, unlimited mileage, at a rate you won't believe. At Grundy, we get it. Call us now or visit us online at grundy.com.
You're watching Wheels America!
Car guys love a fast car. I'm Sam Grundy. At Grundy Insurance, we'll get your quote done super fast. It's quick, easy, and it'll save you money. With Grundy, you get agreed value, zero deductible, unlimited mileage, and no depreciation. Call us now or visit us at grundy.com. You'll be amazed at how fast we can get you rolling. Call us today. At Grundy, we get it.
I'm sitting in this sexy 2018 McLaren 720S. Let's talk to Eric and get the story on this one-of-a-kind sports car.
This is a 2018 McLaren 720S. It's special because it has a carbon fiber tub, which makes the car extremely light and also very safe, and allows it to handle superbly because there is absolutely no flex in the body of the car. It's also got a very powerful engine with a high power to weight ratio, so it's extremely fast, and it also rides extremely comfortably.
Obviously, there's a lot of power in this car. What can you tell us about the engine?
It has 710 horsepower. The top speed is 216 miles an hour. I haven't had it up quite that high, but I've gotten sort of close on a test circuit, of course.
What's the fastest you've had this car?
Just under 200 miles an hour.
How does a rear mid-mounted engine in this car affect the performance?
It allows for the center of inertia to be in the middle of the car, which improves the handling around turns and controllability for steering. It also allows the engine to sit extremely low to the ground, which drops the center of gravity, which also improves handling.
Eric, what can you tell us about the unique features on the interior of the car?
This is a very luxurious interior. It's very nice leather, and some of the more interesting features, it has a rotating gauge cluster, so you can get two different types of information displays. It also has a floating center console with surprisingly good infotainment system, and has a fantastic stereo system. It's got a surround camera so you don't mess up your wheels when you park. It pretty much has everything a modern luxury car has.
And what inspired you to purchase this car?
Well, I'd been looking at exotic cars for a long time, and I found deficiencies in all the ones that had kept me from buying it. And I saw this car, and it was perfect. It had everything I wanted, and I love it.
Eric, can you fire this up for us?
Sure. You're watching Wheels America.
I'm Luana, and I want to tell you about my car. She's a 1923 Model T Ford Touring, and she's yellow and black, which is very different from what Mr. Ford wanted. He always wanted to paint your car whatever color you wanted, so long as it was black. I also have underneath the hood a stock Model T Ford engine. She has pop-up pistons and a driver cam. In addition to that, she's got a 2-speed rear end, so a Ruxtal. She also has a hydraulic overdrive. So when we're going down the road, Lemon Tea and I can go about 45 to 55 miles an hour depending on what traffic's like. And even though she has a crank on the front, we have a push-button start inside. I drive her all the time. I'm Luana, that's Lemon Tea, and that's the story of my car.
Car guys love a fast car. I'm Sam Grundy. At Grundy Insurance, we'll get your quote done super fast. It's quick, easy, and it'll save you money. With Grundy, you get agreed value, 0 deductible, unlimited mileage, and no depreciation. Call us now or visit us at Grundy.com. You'll be amazed at how fast we can get you rolling. Call us today. At Grundy, we get it.
You're watching Wheels America.
Woo! I'm here with Dwight, and we're talking about his 1940 LaSalle. Dwight, when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that this vehicle's been in your family since the very beginning.
That's correct. The car has 41,000 original miles on the original flathead V8 engine and transmission. And everything in the car, in the interior, is either original or restored to as original, with the very same fabrics that they used when the car was produced. So the car is as close to a showroom look as what you could find.
Dwight, I was looking at the interior, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. The headliner in the car is all original, 77 years old. Some of the other mohair in the car is all original, but the fabric on the seats is as it was when it was purchased. It's the same fabric that they made. The carpeting in the car and what's in the trunk is a period correct fabric. The radio is an original radio, and it works, and it has push buttons on it.
Dwight, there's a lot of confusion between LaSalle, General Motors, and Cadillac. What can you tell me about that relationship?
Well, I can tell you that the LaSalle brand was its own brand, developed and designed by Harley Earl and built by General Motors between 1927 and 1940. Some people will say it's a baby Cadillac, and they were maybe $300 or $400 cheaper than a Cadillac. And this car had a retail price in 1940 of $1,320. But it's not a Cadillac, it's a LaSalle made by General Motors as a companion car to Cadillac, and only during those years. But in 1937 and 38 and 39, the LaSalle family of products outsold Cadillac 2-1. But General Motors did not want to see that. They wanted Cadillac to be their best-selling high-end car. So after 1940, they decided not to make them any longer.
Hi James, can you tell us a little bit about your car here? It's a beauty.
Oh, certainly. It's the color is a candy apple red. It's a 210, that's the model, 210 55 Chevrolet. The engine is a 355 cubic inch motor. And this is somewhat of a race car because it's been modified. As you can see, there's a roll cage in it. It has real large tires in the back. And it's what they call a hopped up hot rod. And it's very streetable. The paint definitely, as I said, is special. And then like on the side, you'll see we have some special graphics which sort of make the car stand out from other cars. I've had the car now probably 15 years, and my wife loves it, and she enjoys it. And it's very female friendly because girls like these hot rods.
You're watching Wheels America.
Wheels America is sponsored by Grundy Insurance.
Send us information about your car show. You might be on Wheels America. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.